Hi, welcome to Classic Car Cave. So you can obviously see the XK150 behind me. I'm still waiting on spares to come from S&G Barrett in Holland, so we can crack on with stuff. Amir is away at the moment and he won't be back till he starts work on the 3rd of May, and I've got family coming at the weekend. Then I have two friends coming from the UK who are doing a motorcycle tour, and then another friend a couple of days later who's coming for a week to work on some engines and bits and pieces. So it's quite a busy month. First thing I wanted to say is a big shout out to Gary Mees. This is a friend of mine. He's an English guy that lives in Arizona now. He's been in America quite a lot of years, and it turned out that I had a toolbox which was for the Mark II, and actually it's a wooden one, and then it has the foam inside it for all the tools. And I found it, I can't remember exactly where it was, but I think it was in some like a car boot sale, but it was car orientated stuff. And I grabbed it, and he already had the tools, but he didn't have the box. He had a reproduction plastic box, and he was looking for the original one, which so I sent it to him, and he actually, I said to him, I said, well, if you ever find a tool roll, because the XK150 and the E-Type, or the XKE as they call them in America, they came with the tool roll. So he went out and actually got me a brand new tool roll, really good quality. You can see the canvas is top notch, and certainly from the price he paid for it, it's top notch. The only problem is with stuff like this is sending stuff backwards and forwards. It always costs, and you always have to pay something in duty or whatever, but the postage is crazy these days, the amount of money they want for postage. So what Gary did was very smart about this. He actually had it made at a place in America, which I'll give the name on the bottom here, the address, who do these tool pouches and other bits and pieces. But he also had some new glass for the RPM gauge and the speedo. Unfortunately we cracked one. They're extremely thin, so he happened to have two, because they're very thin, and of course as they're older they break quite easily. So I've got two from him, and you can buy these in America now. In the UK, if you want to buy these, or you have to get the instruments repaired and they'll put a new glass in, but they won't sell the glass separately, not where I've been to anyway, and certainly S&G Barrett won't. I've already checked with them. They'll take the whole thing and then have it restored, and with new glass and so on and so forth, but new fascias, but they won't sell you the glass separately. I could have that wrong, but the guy I spoke to, S&G, said you couldn't buy it. So now these are $5 US. The problem is they cost $30 to send, and then another $10 in import tax, or €10 in import tax. So it's crazy. For a $10 item, it's cost $45 to ship it, but it is what it is. Anyway, so as I said, thanks again, Gary. I really appreciate it. It's really good quality, there's no doubt about it. And I have all the tools here. I mean, this one's still got the original Calamite sticker on it, which is a little grease gun. Some of the tools are not correct, some are, but it's a complete set anyway, and that's obviously not genuine, and neither is that. But yeah, it does the job. I'm not one for patina, as people go on about all the time. To me, it should be functional, and I'd rather have function over patina or being correct in some way or other. You know, I think these vehicles would not be in the condition they're in today if people didn't restore them. And to turn around and say, well, you know, oh, this is original, that's original, it makes a car better. It's absolute bollocks in my opinion, but that's only my opinion. But the majority of people I know that are real car enthusiasts, that do the work themselves, that repair these cars themselves, all of it, rarely go to the club scene and go to this, you know, this judging business for some plastic trophy that I always bang on about. Anyway, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll have some stuff from S&G. The motor liter steering wheel's coming, the new Boss. There's quite a lot of stuff coming for the XK, so we can get on with it. but it's taken a bit of a time to get some of it from the main place in Stourbridge, S&G Barrett in Stourbridge, and it has to come to Holland. And then they can mess around with the tax, and I end up paying for it somewhere, of course. But I can't be bothered with this. You know, you move stuff backwards and forwards, and it's just a pain. You know, this Brexit thing has been a complete disaster, in my opinion. But of course, people would say I'm biased because I now live in Austria as a UK passport holder. But I think it was nonsense. I'm a great believer in being on the inside of the tent spitting out than the outside spitting in. And it's certainly done the UK no favours, and it hasn't done any favours for anybody, to be honest, the EU either. Anyway, so hope you enjoy the video. There's loads of work to do on the cab and on the back, and what I want to get to now is a point where we start base coating or primering the whole of the back of the pickup truck. So when I put the metal on, we can put it on for the last time and then spray it completely rather than keep going back. I want to basically have an undercoat on it, a primer undercoat. So that's what will be happening in the next few weeks when Amir gets back and the weather is better. A little tip, if you're doing any spraying at all, try and do it where the room has got a little bit of heat in it, because for top coat you definitely need that because you get orange peel. But if you can, try and warm the place up where you are, where you're going to spray, even if it's with a paraffin heater or a diesel heater, whatever, because you'll get a better finish on it. When you're painting onto cold metal and the paint is cold, you're always going to have some problems with spitting and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, like I said, I hope you enjoy the video, and we'll be back on this baby pretty soon, I hope. Take care. Okay, so I've got this side all sorted out now. What I need to do is just do some welding here where it was caught with a cutting wheel. Take these off, clean them up, paint them black, and put it all back on again, and do this whole one side. And then I need to start on the other side. But the problem with the other side is, doing the running board on that side, is it's already filled in here on the side. I don't know if I can move this away. Maybe I can. Oh, that's dangerous. The screws are going to come off. Hang on. Oh, not as easy as I thought. There we go. You can see this side is already on. So the problem is now I can't get to the chassis leg. So unfortunately I have to take the cab off. The other problem I've got is that there's only a certain amount of height to that block and tackle. Fortunately, I've got these, I have some aluminium scaffolding we use for the house, and this is the wheels we've got on the bottom of this kind of A-frame, because I've only got a certain amount of lift for the cab. So what I've done now is I've jacked it up, and then what I'll do is just tighten that up a little bit, you can see, and I can just spin this up into place. And that will give me another 12 centimetres, which should be enough to lift the cab off, put it back down on the ground on my own with that lift frame that I made. So I just need to work out roughly where we should be. It's hard to see that with the camera. So take that into account. Oh, it up a little higher. I'm doing this and holding the camera. So we got 1.5 turns more. We should be, hopefully, on the money. There we go. So that'll give us 12 centimetres to play with, and that should give me enough height, because it's higher up in the air. Should give me enough height now to get that off. So I haven't really got any choice. I've got to take it off. There's no way to get to it underneath, no way to drill it or whatever. The cab's going to have to come off again at some point anyway, so I'll just have to do that. It is what it is with the classic car work. I've got the cab off on my own. As I said, I need to make a pair of these on that side, and the cab needs working on as well. So I'll stick that on some axle stands, and as you can see I can get to the side of the chassis quite easily now, as long as I put them exactly in line with each other and make up the other running board exactly the same. They should fit. Let's hope so. Right, now to get this cab down and prop it up. That extra 12 centimetres on the legs made a big difference. I could put it right over that wing without touching it, so that's good. So I'll get it down and show you what I'm going to get on with. That was a bit of a struggle, but I got there in the end. So I'll probably leave this down here now because we've got quite a bit of work to do, and get this other side step in, get the back done while it's on the ground. There's some welding on the firewall inside that needs to be done, and then this roof put in as well, and give it a paint up as well before we put the inner sills in it. Get all this kind of shit sorted out while it's at a lower level as well, and I'll hopefully get on with this other side step. Yeah, so that's the next job. So basically do the same thing. So what I'll do now is I'll take these side off, weld it all up, get it cleaned up, round any sharp edges, repaint it, and then put it all back on for the last time, and then crack on with the other side, do exactly the same thing on the other side. Hopefully I'll have that done before Amir gets back. We'll see.